Let's talk about the economy now, and if you go to any shopping mall or shopping centre this week, you'll probably find that some stores have shut their doors for good. The impact of the COVID-19 lockdown on many small and big businesses has been devastating. Pick n Pay today, we got news of more than 1,400 staff members who've taken voluntary severance packages. This is since March. March, you'll remember, is when the lockdown began. So the retail giant blames this on restricted trading, increased operating costs, and the ban on the sale of alcohol. Let's talk more about this. I'm joined by Mto Qulu. He's president of the South African Chamber of Commerce and Industry, joining us by Skype. Mto, good to speak to you. So Pick n Pay says between March and where we are now, 1,400 staff have taken voluntary severance packages. Were you surprised to hear that, especially when you look at retail and how it's usually been one of the industries that are able to keep themselves going?
Hi, good afternoon, Tebile. Thanks for having us. Well, nothing really is coming as a surprise now because, as you know, in the beginning of the lockdown, we did anticipate that there would be some businesses that will find themselves in a situation where they will not be able to recover to pre-COVID-19 levels. And some businesses were, in any case, already forecasted to close and never reopen after whatever level we reach in terms of national lockdown. So this is unfortunately the time that we are in. You know, when you talk about the storm having arrived in terms of the pandemic itself and COVID-19, we also are going to now start seeing the storm, economically speaking, arriving, and businesses now showing the numbers where they either have to downsize, retrench, or some of them close for good. So it's unsurprising, but you know, we need to find a way of responding positively, whatever means necessary.
The ban or restrictions on the sale of alcohol is among the reasons given by Pick n Pay for these severance packages. Heineken, a big player in the booze industry, is saying, well, they are staying in the country, but they'll have to scale back on their plans for operations in South Africa because they're trying to protect some 900 jobs. Now, the booze ban seems likely to stay in place for quite a while, and the longer it stays, the more jobs in the alcohol industry will be on the line. So what do those businesses do?
Like all other sectors, you know, what we need now is that we need to go back to that risk-adjusted strategy and have an update every second week on whether, and to measure whether all our responses are effective and working. What you would have heard is that the industry itself, in terms of the booze industry, has been complaining that they have not necessarily been fully consulted and they are not even being spoken to on an ongoing basis. So what we really need to do, because now we are in what we call an economic recovery phase, we need government and all industries to be talking so that we can have that bi-weekly update that we were promised early to really check whether the risk-adjusted strategy is working, what changes need to be done, and what improvements need to be made. Otherwise, you'll have a situation where industries feel that they're not being consulted, and if it goes on with no end in sight, businesses will just have to take a decision to cut back on major decisions such as capital investment and labour commitments.
And there seems to be some move from government to try and meet the liquor industry in particular halfway. Today, a statement coming from the alcohol industry saying that Treasury had agreed to grant a deferment, if you will, or deferring excise taxes on alcohol, something to the tune of 5.1 billion rand. It is a temporary measure, but will it go a long way in cushioning the blow?
What we need is a comprehensive and ongoing partnership between all social partners. You know, we don't need piecemeal solutions, because ultimately you'll still find others who feel that whatever relief is being proposed would not cover them or would not really help them much because of all the losses that they've been suffered. What we need across all sectors is that we need to have this committed and concerted effort where we look at all possibilities, what industry can do to mitigate the spread of COVID-19 and what government can do to provide some certainty and some hope to all the sectors. So it is welcome indeed if government is responding to direct challenges. But remember, we have an entire population here that needs to be given hope. And we need all industries who have invested a lot of energy in working with government in the response to the fight against COVID-19. And we need a bit more comprehensive economic recovery partnerships so that we don't move away from a piecemeal solution and really set the country on a footing that everyone can feel confident that indeed we are now entering and implementing the economic recovery strategies proposed by various sectors of society.
Mtho Xulu, President of the South African Chamber of Commerce and Industry, thank you for your time, sir.